Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking gun rest, in particular the final rest shooting systems. You're not going to want to miss this one. Stick around. Hey everybody, like I said in the intro, today we're talking about gun rests, in particular final rest shooting systems and the various products that they offer that will help you become a more accurate and productive hunter or target shooter. So before I jump into the various products that we've got here to show you, I want to give you a little bit of a backstory. So several years ago, I started filming my hunts, and when I did that, I had several cheap camera arms. I've got some videos out there before where I've talked about my progression of camera arms. Well, I came across a company called Fourth Arrow, and I started purchasing their products, fell in love with them. Extremely innovative for the mobile hunter, but also even for somebody that if you just have a series of ladder stands or buddy stands or whatever, they also make products for that. And I really bought into their mindset, their innovation, just everything that they were producing for the videographer hunter that was out there. Well, the Fourth Arrow team realized that a lot of the products they were making for the videographer also would translate into kind of shooting rest systems for the hunter as well, whether that be for the gun hunter or a crossbow hunter, whatever, and it could be for deer or turkey or predator or whatever. So I checked into it and I bought my first final rest shooting system product. So last year I picked up the final rest grip and rip, and my son and I both used this rest off of the Fourth Arrow final rest tripod to shoot all three of our bucks last year. So we really enjoyed having this, and this is an adjustable rest. So you see here, it's basically spring loaded here. You crank this knob here to tighten this down against the stock of your gun, and it's spring loaded, so when you release it, it pops back out. This is a tension knob that'll allow you to adjust the tilt of it, and then when you screw this into the tripod, it has full swivel ability, 360 degree rotation. Let me just turn this on here. It's got a 1/4 inch thread bolt there, so that this is fully modularized or adjustable, I guess is the best way to put it. We used it sometimes off of this tripod just like this, but what we discovered as we were hunting was if we were set up here hunting and it was set over here in front of us and a deer or something came out over here or way over here, we would have to get up, move our body completely around the pivot point of the tripod to get in alignment with whatever our target was. So what we decided then to do was we kind of went one step farther, and we picked up, there it is, I thought I'd lost it. We picked up this adapter component, and this also comes from Fourth Arrow and Final Rest. This screws onto this bolt here, and then when you do that, it has this new adapter opening here on top of it that fits any of your Fourth Arrow or Final Rest arms. So this is actually the Fourth Arrow Rex arm. This is an older model. I've had this one for 3 or 4 years, I guess it is now. So then what happens is that just slides down in there. You can tighten that knob if you want to. And then when you put your rest on here, you can then swivel it all the way around. What that allowed us to do was we were able to put our gun in the rest attachment here, clamp it down, and then leave it setting where we were hunting at in the ground blind, pointing in the direction that we were expecting the deer to come out of. If something happened and the deer came out from another direction, all we had to do was you just pull this around, and it now moves your line of sight, your your shooting line with the gun. So it prevented me from having to get up, or my son from having to get up and move our chair around. Well, one of the places we were hunting here was on kind of we were side hill. We had our blinds set up side hill, and it wasn't the most stable terrain. And so what I ended up doing is I then went and I built a wooden frame to try to get a little more weight on it. But I mean, before I say that, I do love their tripod. I have used the tripod now for several years. I even use it, I take it on vacations and do my family videography for our family YouTube channel as well. So I do a lot of things with this tripod. It is the nicest tripod I've ever purchased. Extremely sturdy, very durable, and I'm going to loosen that nut. And I mean, it is just, I love it. I absolutely love their tripod. Actually, I have two of them. I bought a second one because I love this one so much, because my son is getting into photo, that sounds funny. My son's getting into photography and videography both. And so every now and then I find where I go to get my tripod and it's missing because he's got it and he's using it for something. So I picked up a second one now, so that way I have one and I don't have to worry about the little thief stealing my tripod. So anyway, what I did though, when I realized I was having a little bit of struggle with that ground blind, was I picked up this Final Rest Pillar Lite system. This is basically just an adjustable monopod. This is a clamp, and so on that wooden frame that I made, there's a little bar. If you see here, there's a little bar that sits inside here. You tighten this down, and then this bottom leg pops out, and it will adjust up and down. So what happens is you clamp this onto that bar, you drop that leg down to where it hits the ground, you tighten it back up, and now you've got a sturdy monopod set up that then you can do the same thing. You can put your arm in here. Now this, you have to use an arm for this. This isn't set up to where you can thread the rest on top of it. So you've got to use it with an arm. But this combination here worked fantastic with the wooden frame and putting this pillar light on here, and then this Rex arm. You can also do this out of a wooden box blind, which we don't have any permanent blinds here. All we have are pop-up blinds. And so the little wooden thing that I made just actually goes and sets inside the pop-up blind, the Baronet Ox 4 blinds that we have. And it works really well because it's like a table surface in there. We can set our drink bottles on it. We can put binoculars, rangefinders, whatever we want to. We can set it on the table, and then this is set down behind it, and it gives us the base support for the shooting system. This year, Final Rest came out with a new design, so a new design of rest. So as I said, this is kind of a, you've tightened it down, you can tighten it really tight, you can get a good firm grip on your weapon, whether that be a rifle, shotgun, crossbow, whatever it is, muzzleloader even, which I did shoot. I shot one of my bucks this year using my CVA Optima and this rest here. But it's a little heavy. I think it comes in around 2.5 to 3 pounds. So it's not something that necessarily I would want to pack in long distances and set up with in and out every single day. What I normally do is I would set this up in our hunting positions in the blinds that we set up, and I would just leave it out there for a week or two at a time and then bring it back in. Obviously, you don't want to do it on public land or somewhere that you're dealing with a lot of trespassers. Thankfully, most of the place here on our farm, we don't have hunting trespassers. We got ginseng trespassers, but that's a whole other topic. This year, Final Rest came out with the Flex and Rip, and this is a much lighter weight. It's probably a pound less than this, and it works under the principle that these are actually adjustable fingers, basically. So you can put your weapon down in here. I didn't bring a gun up with me. I should have for visual purposes. And then you just curl these around, and it'll grip the weapon and hold it in place. So it will allow you to do the same thing that this one would do, in that I can put this on my tripod or on my Pillar Lite. I can put the gun in it, get it pointed down range where I'm expecting the animal to come from, and then take my hands completely off. This works fantastic for, both of these systems actually work fantastic for the self-filming hunter. because I've always got a tripod set right here with my camera set on it, and if I'm self-filming, I'm messing with trying to get this camera set, and then if I don't have my gun in a rest of some sort, I'm having to get the camera set, pull the gun up, get the gun focused or aimed downrange generally to where I want it to be, look back over at the camera, make sure I've got my deer or turkey or whatever in frame, come back over, make a fine adjustment, and then I'm constantly glancing back over, looking at it. That's a lot of movement for me to be doing. Whereas if I'm using this rest system, then I already have the gun pointing downrange. All I've got to do is I'm sitting here and I'm just adjusting the camera, get the camera set, and then I just lean up, put my finger on the trigger guard basically, and be prepared, and I'm ready to go. It's a lot less movement. You don't have to worry so much about the deer or turkey seeing me raising the gun up, getting the barrel sticking outside the netting on the blind, because you know, I've seen videos of guys who shoot their weapon from when the end of the barrel breech is still inside the blind, and it just blows the whole side of the blind out. You don't want to do that. You want that barrel to be extending outside the edge of the blind. So everything I'm talking about in this is talking in terms of ground blind hunting. You can also have these systems for a tree stand. I haven't used it out of a tree stand personally, because most of our tree stands, if they're ladder stands, they have a shooting rail, so I just use the existing shooting rail. And otherwise what I've got is if I use my saddle, then I will just rest my gun on the tether. So that's easy enough for me to rest there if I'm shooting in this direction. If I'm shooting the other way, then it's, you know, it's a little bit, saddles get a little complicated when you're talking about that for somebody who hasn't ever hunted out of a saddle, to understand the dynamics of how you position yourself in the saddle. And then if I'm in a hang-on stand, obviously, you know, most hang-on stands don't have any kind of shooting rail. So what I typically do is I just prop on my knee. Could I potentially use some of these systems for that? Yes. I just haven't done that yet. Most of my uses of the Final Rest systems have all been hunting from the ground, whether it be turkey hunting just on the ground at the base of a tree, predator hunting on the ground at the base of some kind of cover, or deer hunting out of the baronet ground blind. So I'm going to leave links below to some of these various products. I am a huge believer, supporter, fan of both Fourth Arrow and Final Rest. I think their products are absolutely top notch. I've had nothing but good discussions with those guys whenever I either email them or call them or see them at hunting conventions, whether it be, you know, whatever conventions it is that you go to that you may see them. The guys there are top notch. They're super friendly, and they're always there wanting to help. So check out their products if you're looking for some gun rests for this year. There's another style that they make that's a lot bigger and it's a lot more robust, and I can't remember what it's called, but I haven't used it, so I can't really speak to it specifically. But they make fantastic products. Check them out. I think you'll enjoy them. And season is almost here. I don't know if you can hear all that noise. My neighbor's mowing his yard, and it sounds like he just mowed a tree down. But so hunting season's almost here. Looking forward to it. I'm trying to get all this stuff ready, although it's archery season starting here. My son's bought a crossbow, so he's looking forward to going with his crossbow, and I'm sure when he does, he's going to be probably using one of these two rests when he's out there during the crossbow season while he's trying to get his first archery season deer. So check them out. Thank you for watching. If you haven't yet, I really would appreciate if you go in, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment below. Let me know if you've used any of these products, anything even similar. If you want to mention it, I know there's other companies out there that have products similar to this, but I really just believe in the Final Rest and Fourth Arrow products and their innovation behind what they're producing. So thanks for watching. Good luck this season. God bless.